Hello, kia ora everyone, I'm TJ, welcome back to my channel. If you're actually new around here and you want to become part of a compassionate, caring community who want to raise awareness about cancers for victims and their families, you're in the right place. So please hit that subscribe button somewhere down there and join us at New Zealand Mysteries Community. Please remember to give the video a thumbs up as well. If you are a returning subscriber, many thanks. I so appreciate each and every one of you. Today is a big video, big case. I'm giving an overview of the murders of Abigail Williams and Liberty German in Delphi, Indiana in 2017. This is in preparation for an interview coming up on Friday, July 23rd at 2 p.m. and that's New Zealand time. And it's with a guest, a YouTuber who I believe to be somewhat of an expert on the case, Mr. Anthony Greeno from True Crime Investigates. The time might sound a bit weird, but there was a problem with time zones and it was hard to come up with a time that suited us both. So I believe it is the previous night at 10 p.m. for him. If you're going to watch and tune in, I suggest you check up on your local time. There is so much information, rumours, videos, media about this. There's no way I would be able to cover everything. So I'm hoping just to share with you the key points of the case and then we can chat to Anthony and ask questions. I'm going to be sharing some of his video footage with permission. So if you want to research more after this video, go and check his channel out. Loads more info. And of course, make sure you tune into our interview. But for now, let's get started. So for those Kiwi viewers who might not know where Delphi, Indiana is situated, have a look on screen. This is Indiana, and if my computer works all right, let's zoom in and have a look. So you can see it's between Chicago and Indiana, just out of Indianapolis. So I hope it sort of helps a little to know where it is. Delphi is home to a large network of parks and trails, numerous shops, restaurants and heritage and cultural attractions. The population, according to the 2010 census, was just under 3,000 at 2,893. Let's get to that fateful day. On February the 13th, 2017, best friends Abigail Williams, Abby, who's just 13, Abby was explained as a happy, outgoing young girl, and Liberty German, 14, who we'll call Libby, who loved baking cookies. They had a snow day, so day off school. The two girls attended Delphi Community Middle School, where they both played saxophone and volleyball together. At 1:35 p.m. on that Monday, the girls were dropped off at the Monon High Bridge Trail by Libby's older sister, Kelsey. The girls decided to cross the Monon High Bridge, which is an old, unused rail bridge. The bridge is dangerous, with some of the crossposts called ties missing or rotten. The Monon High Bridge Trail attracts hunters, fishers, campers and kids hiking or just taking photos of the popular spot. This bridge, also known as just the High Bridge, spans Deer Creek and is 1,300 feet long, which for us Kiwis is about 396 metres in length, and at 63 high, which is about 20 metres high. The bridge is believed to be Indiana's second tallest bridge. It carried trains high above Deer Creek until it was abandoned by CSX in 1987. There ain't no way I would ever get on that bridge. I am so afraid of heights. I would have to crawl, and I don't think I would get very far, I tell you that. I know since that there's been some restoration progress on the bridge itself. At 2:07 p.m. that day, Libby posted a pic of Abby walking on the high bridge on Snapchat. That was the last time the girls were heard from. The girls were due to be collected by Libby's grandfather Mike in the trail car park at about 3:15 p.m, but they failed to show up. By 5 p.m, the girls' families were out searching for them. At 5:30, the police were called and the girls were reported as missing, and by 6 p.m, most of the town had joined police, but the girls were not found. The search resumed the next day at around noon, 14th of February. The bodies of Abby and Libby were found by searchers about 15 metres from the north bank of Deer Creek on the 12-hectare property of 77-year-old who has not been considered a suspect. And we're going to watch a video shortly that Anthony's put together, which is going to go over all this stuff too. Police have never actually released details of how the girls were murdered. This case has become huge, not just in Indiana or the US, but all around the world. There's media, podcasts, and YouTubers have covered this case. There's hundreds of people that have. There has been expert analysis on every aspect of the crime and many videos made. We're going to watch a couple of those today, shortly. Indiana State Police began circulating an image of an individual reportedly seen walking on the Monon High Bridge. This guy was a Caucasian male, head down with his hands in his pockets, walking on the rail bridge towards the girls who were on the other side of the bridge. A few days later, the person photographed was named the prime suspect in the murders of Abby and Libby, and from then on, the man became known as Bridge Guy, or BG. On February 22nd, at a news conference, law enforcement released an audio recording where the voice of the suspect can be heard to say, "Down the hill." Officials stated that the footage and audio had come from Libby's phone, and Libby was hailed as a hero for capturing the suspect on her phone. Law enforcement did allude to having more info from Libby's phone, but did not release it. Liberty German recorded the killer's order after she placed her phone with its video camera rolling in her pocket as he cornered them on the bridge. So what an amazing thing of her to do, to think about that, or have the presence of mind to think about recording at that time where they must have been just terrified. On July 17th, law enforcement released a sketch of a person of prime interest in the murders. It had apparently been drawn by police from witnesses. So this guy is Bridge Guy. During a press conference on April 22, they also released a short video recording in which the blue jeaned and jacketed suspect is seen walking along the rail bridge for a little over a second. An updated sketch of the suspect was also released. This sketch was much different. Law actually completely different to the first one, and police say this person may range in age from 18 to 40, but caution that his youthful appearance could make him look younger than his true age. The police also believe that the suspect might well be hiding in plain sight, and that the person is almost certainly familiar with the area of Delphi, whether it be from living or working here or for other reasons. An additional plea was made for help in identifying the driver of a vehicle left abandoned off the Hoosier Heartland Highway in Delphi at the former Child Services Office between noon and 5 p.m. on the day of the murder. I'm going to let Anthony now in a video explain and go over what I've just told you. It might make it easier to follow. Let's have a look.
February 13th. The day of disaster. It all started around 12 o'clock p.m. that day. An unidentified white male arrived at the Monon High Bridge Trail and parked his car at an abandoned CPS welfare building near County Road 300 trail entrance Site B. He made his way down the path and across the high bridge in about 30 minutes. Approximately 12:30 p.m., the anonymous woman at this property took her two dogs on a walk to the bridge. Upon arriving, she came in contact with a man wearing a blue jacket, brown hoodie, a hat, and washed-out blue jeans. She engaged in casual conversation with the man. After speaking for a few minutes, the woman returned home, and the man was seen walking back across the high bridge. She described this man as in his 40s with reddish-brown hair, a very thin goatee, and that he didn't have blue eyes. She noticed nothing out of the ordinary with the person. A little over an hour later, Kelsey German is headed to town to run some errands. Libby asked if she would drop her and Abby off at the high bridge on her way into town. The grandmother, Becky, approved this as long as Libby arranged for her father to pick her up. Derek was also running errands in Frankfort, Indiana, and would be back to pick the girls up around 3 o'clock p.m. Kelsey drove Abby and Libby to this location and dropped them off around 1:45, trail entrance, Site C. They made their way down to the 501, and Libby snapped two pictures and uploaded them to Snapchat. One of the rickety bridge ahead, and the other from this platform, a photo of Abby, the last communication anyone ever had from them at 2:07 p.m. They continued across the bridge to the end of the trail. At some point, the man in the blue coat began following them. Feeling a sense of danger and mysterious vibe, Libby activated the video feature on her cell phone and captured this image of a man approaching them at approximately 2:20 p.m. He is now known as the Bridge Guy. Police believe he is the prime suspect. They emphasized on why he is considered the murderer of the two teens.
The reason we believe this is a suspect is based on the totality of the evidence that we've gathered thus far. That has led us to believe this is the person that at least participated in the murders of Liberty German and Abigail Williams.
Police released a grainy photo of the suspect, indicating the photo is a still image of a video file.
The image that you see there of the suspect, that came from Liberty's phone. We have more video. We're not releasing it. It's germane to our investigation.
This young lady's a hero, there's no doubt. To have enough presence of mind to activate the video system on her cell phone.
And also released 3 words said by the suspect, ordering the girls.
And it's important that we spread that person's voice far and wide. But there's enough there that somebody could recognize this person's voice. If you hear this today, and you think, my God, that sounds like fill in the blank, call us. But you may tell us who the right person was. And you could be the person that helps us to solve this horrible crime.
But there is no doubt in our minds that that young lady is a hero. To record what we believe is criminal behavior that is about to occur.
We're not stopping. Someone knows who this individual is. Who's next? And if you're watching, we'll find you.
Around the same time the suspect was ordering the girls down the hill, a woman by the name of Cheyenne and her friend Cheryl arrived at the main parking area and began their trek to the high bridge. As they are moving down the trail, the suspect is ordering the girls in this direction. About 100 yards away is the creek. The bodies were discovered the next day on the other side. There is much speculation on what exactly caused the 3 to cross the freezing water. Law enforcement has stated that the girls were killed in the area the bodies were found. But did they try to run from the suspect? Or did the suspect select this isolated location? Until there is an arrest, we may never know. Around 2:35 p.m., Cheyenne and Cheryl arrive at the high bridge, but there is no one in sight. Silence is in the air. The feeling of death lingers. As they now cross the bridge, the suspect has already murdered Abby and Libby and is making his way back towards the trail in this direction. But a local millionaire and trail organizer wearing a flannel shirt has now arrived at the parking area and is making his way down the trail. His name is David McCain, but he is most commonly known as Flannel Shirt Guy. The suspect re-enters the trail somewhere in this location and passes McCain just past the center portion of the trail. At the same time, Cheyenne and Cheryl are taking this picture. This all happens around 10 till 3 p.m. The suspect heads back to his vehicle and leaves the area. Libby's father, Derek, is on his way to pick them up. David McCain makes his way to the high bridge, notices the 2 pretty girls on the bridge, and they seem to notice him too, describing him as an older man with white hair who lingered around the head of the bridge for a few minutes and then left. As McCain headed back towards the parking area, Derek made his way to the center section of the trail. The 2 men made contact. Derek asked McCain if he had seen 2 young girls, describing them. McCain said no, but there are a couple on the bridge. Finding out through their conversation that the two girls on the bridge were not Abby and Libby, Derek checked the 505 trail, but still, no sign of Abby and Libby.
Hopefully that video explained things a little bit better than I did. Anthony does a wonderful job with his videos. There have been a few persons of interest over the years, men that resemble the sketches of Bridge Guy, and these are just a few. Paul Etta was wanted for the kidnapping and rape of a 26-year-old woman on June the 22nd in Tippecanoe County. 5 days later, Etta was surrounded by police, and after a 5-hour standoff, he died by suicide, and that was on the 23rd of July. He was charged with threatening strangers on a monument trail with a hatchet. The expired Indiana plates on the car he was driving was noticed by police, who discovered there was an outstanding warrant under his name. It was reported that a bicyclist had actually been shot and died on the same trail at around the same time that Daniel Nations was there threatening strangers. In early February 2018, though, authorities said that Nations was no longer considered an active person of interest. Thomas Bruce, who formerly worked as a pastor, is charged with fatally shooting one woman and sexually assaulting 2 others. His crimes were committed in broad daylight, the same as what happened in Delphi. And being of similar stature as the male in the sketch, he had worn a flat cap and navy blue jacket during his attack. So some considered him a suspect as well, or a person of interest. Charles Eldridge was arrested on January 8, 2019 in Union City, Indiana, on charges of child molestation and child solicitation. Police in Randolph County alerted the FBI to a potential link between Eldridge and the Delphi murders on account of his strong resemblance to the suspect sketch. This was, however, before the updated composite had been released. The latest suspect, or person of interest, is James Brian Chadwell II. On April 27, 2021, Indiana State Police detectives named James Brian Chadwell II as a new person of interest in the Delphi murders. Chadwell, 42, was arrested after a 9-year-old missing girl was found naked and covered in dog bites in the basement in his Lafayette home. Some say that he bears an uncanny resemblance to a police sketch of the bridge guy, but he has not been formally named as a suspect. As when I'm recording this, he is currently in jail awaiting trial for these charges. Now, police have alluded to having DNA from the crime scene of the suspect, but have never confirmed this. Most of the suspects for this crime have had an extensive criminal history. This means that their DNA and fingerprints will be on file. Because of this, Paul Etta, and I know Thomas Bruce and Garrett Kurtz, another person, were also eliminated as suspects. But does that mean that this was the killer's first offence? It seems like a huge crime for a first offence, in my opinion. Let's take another look at a video from Anthony, and he'll explain a little bit more.
Nobody had the presence of mind to turn on her video camera. There's enough there that somebody could recognize this person's voice. The image that you see there of the suspect, that came from Liberty's phone.
This young lady's a hero, there's no doubt. To have enough presence of mind to activate the video system on her cell phone.
The FBI plays an important support role in this investigation.
We have more video. We're not releasing it. It's germane to our investigation.
If you're watching, we'll find you.
We've never had this before.
We need to get the murderer of Liberty German and Abigail Williams into custody sooner rather than later.
The person that helps
voice that echoes. Over and over again, that murmur you're hearing may have been one of the last sounds Abby and Libby heard as Libby recorded it on her cell phone. But whose voice is it? No one knows. But it belongs to this guy seen here in this grainy photo taken from one of the victim's cell phones just moments before their death. Approaching over 2.5 years later, that man remains unknown. Did the one who produced that phrase look like this bearded man with the cap? In July 2017, investigators insisted that this FBI composite sketch was a more detailed image of the man shown here, also known worldwide as the Bridge Guy.
We feel it's very important because it actually gives a view of the person in the picture that you see down below. It shows a little more facial features and a little more information on what's we're looking at who the suspect probably is.
1 year into the investigation, we asked police if they were willing to release more audio and a clip of the actual suspect walking.
There's more to work with?
No, we're not. We think that we've released enough now that if there's a possibility of identifying the killer based on that photograph, we'll be able to do that. And that's all I can say about the video.
It was. The clock slowly fades into another minute, another hour, and eventually another year, with the reward reaching over $250,000 and over 45,000 tips. Still, no arrests have been made. Then, in April 2019, law enforcement announced a new strategy. They called this the New Direction.
We believe you are hiding in plain sight. For more than 2 years, you never thought we would shift gears to a different investigative strategy, but we have.
Additional audio was released in the suspect's voice. Video has now made its way around the world. Since the crime, we've seen these guys, who many claim are the most notable persons of interest. But as time went by, none have been charged with the crime. Police believe the person responsible for the murders of Abby and Libby is living amongst the Delphi community. The most stunning piece of evidence in the New Direction was this: a new sketch of the suspect. This sketch depicts a younger-looking man between the ages of 18 to 40. So what about the original sketch released by the FBI in 2017? Police clarified, this sketch should now be considered secondary, that the two men in these sketches are not the same person, and the person in this sketch is no longer a person of interest in the case. They further added that the newer drawing was actually created 3 days after the murders. So the question that's on everyone's mind is, have we been searching for the wrong man this entire time? And where did this sketch come from then? 2 witnesses claim to have seen the man shown here, on the trail, around the time the girls went missing. One was a woman walking her dogs. Since the woman has since moved, Greeno Productions has obtained permission to show the area in which this took place. The timestamp, February 13th, 2017, approximately 12:30 p.m. The location, the infamous hill located just off the southeast side of the Monon High Bridge. The second witness is more commonly referred to as Flannel Shirt Guy. The timestamp, February 13th, 2017, approximately 2:47 p.m. Flannel Shirt Guy claims to have crossed paths with the suspect in this general location. The suspect was headed in the direction of the Freedom Bridge. Flannel Shirt Guy, who has been identified as David McCain, says that he didn't notice anything suspicious about the man at that time. It took almost 2 years for McCain's statement to finally hold some merit. Indiana State Police Superintendent Doug Carter pled for information of an abandoned vehicle that was parked off County Road 300 North alongside the old DCS welfare building.
We're seeking the public's help to identify the driver of a vehicle that was parked at the old CPS DCS welfare building in the city of Delphi that was abandoned on the east side of County Road 300 North, next to the Hoosier Heartland Highway. Provided that is the suspect's vehicle, Flannel Shirt Guy's statement now seems corroborated as the
the direction the suspect was heading upon passing McCain was back to his vehicle, which is located at the County Road 300 North trail entrance, Site B. If the suspect parked at this location, then it would show that he had premeditated this attack. This is the general parking area for the Monon High Bridge Trail. The suspect parked here because he knew that this was an area that majority of people would never enter from. He could remain isolated and away from potential witnesses that could identify his vehicle. It also seems more so premeditated due to the fact that the suspect was seen on the south side of the bridge over an hour prior to when the victims arrived. This indicates that he was canvassing the area, planning a calculated attack. He was engaged in conversation with the woman walking her dogs while standing on the hill. Ironically, that is the same hill the suspect can be heard ordering the girls to go down during the abduction portion of the crime. I spent countless hours at the crime scene studying it, debunking rumors and testing theories, interviewing, in person, all the major people involved, attending and donating to fundraisers in relation to the case, and doing my best to keep this case in the forefront. This is my community, Delphi, the heart of Carroll County, Indiana. It hurts me deeply to say, I'll never feel the same here again. My old-timey, quiet small town is now plagued as one of the world's biggest unsolved mysteries. We will forever be known as the Delphi murders. I believe the killer is local and is someone many of us know, but just don't recognize him through the pixelated footage.
We're following breaking news tonight out of Indiana. Someone has murdered 2 girls.
The search is on for a killer in the small city of Delphi.
Oh, everybody's upset. They just can't believe somebody would do that to those little girls.
Delphi, it's always quiet, but today feels different. You can feel the pain.
Where a manhunt is still underway for the killer or killers of these 2 young girls.
I believe you had just a little bit of conscience left. 2 children. Only a coward would do such a thing.
2 years into this massive investigation, the multi-agency task force shocked the city by releasing this sketch of the new suspect.
Another great video. He really puts things together so that you understand them. Quickly before we move on, I just want to say a big and huge thank you to Aaron and Zoe for your kind donation. They went to buymeacoffee.com/NZ Mysteries. If you can help out, that would be fantastic. Now moving on. Where is the case now? Well, the case is unsolved. We know that. Investigators have been very tight-lipped in this investigation. They've kept a lot of cards close to their chest, never releasing much info, alluding to having more info. It's caused a lot of frustration to the public. People are asking, how are they supposed to help catch the killer if the police don't release enough information? But we know police have their reasons. There is so many questions, so many things we don't know. I want to know, do the police have DNA or fingerprints from the suspect? How did the girls die? I don't think we need to know that. How was he able to manage to coerce the 2 of them to do what he wanted or control the 2 of them? Was there a weapon involved that he threatened them with maybe? Did the muck up with sketches mean that people have been searching for the wrong person all this time? That would be terrible. We all thought that was Bridge Guy, with the goatee and stuff, and everyone was comparing him to people for a long time. Did we lose a lot of time because of that? Is the killer local? He seemed to get across that bridge with not too much worry. Like I said, I would be crawling. He seemed to know all the layout of the surrounding area as well. If that was the car that they were talking about, if that was his, he knew where to park. So if he's local, why isn't he been caught, I guess? There's so many questions, and I hope that when we have the question and answer interview with Anthony Greeno, he may be able to shed light on some of these things. Many events have actually been organised in memory of Abby and Libby. There's been vigils and marches. 4 years on, no one is forgetting about these two beautiful girls who were brutally taken from their families. There's so much mystery here, and I think that's why it's gone so international. Everyone just wants this case solved, and if you're in the true crime community, it's one of the biggest cases in the world at the moment. So please, if you want to get some more information, head over to Anthony's channel. In fact, you can go on YouTube and find information everywhere. Lots of YouTubers do really good videos about this case. Please come and hang out with us on Friday the 23rd of July at 2 p.m. New Zealand time, when we meet Anthony and ask him some questions. Head over to his channel and check him out. He's doing really well, and you know, he just does great work. It's been a great help. Please be safe out there, be kind. I will see you soon. Thank you so much for your time, guys. Bye now.